No, I'll be working. I'll be looking for work.
Folks, we will call to order the October 5th regular meeting of the Adrian City. We will call to order the October 5th regular meeting of the Adrian City Planning Commission. First item on our agenda is a roll call.
Yep. Jacobitz,
Here.
Weatherby,
Present.
Johnson,
Here.
Watson,
Present.
Taylor,
Present.
Cotton,
Here.
Gauss,
Here.
Commissioner Love. Commissioner members present except Commissioner Love.
Thank you, sir. Next item is consideration of our minutes from our September meeting. Commissioners, I presume you've had an opportunity to review those minutes. Are there any additions or corrections to the September 14th minutes? If there are none, we would entertain a motion for their approval.
So moved. Support.
Johnson and Taylor. All those in favor, please indicate so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Minutes are approved. Our next item of business is a site plan review. This is case number 21037, site plan review for 926 North Main Street for a gas station remodel. Is there someone here to represent that project?
Unless they're online looking in the crowd, they're not. I tried to get a hold of them, they did not respond if they would be here.
Okay, I don't see anybody online.
There was one. There's him right there. Is that him?
No, that's not.
That's not,
No, it's not on this.
Still should.
That's, he's with us.
No.
oh, okay, thank you. Thank you for the clarification. But usually we don't.
I don't think we should. Who am I gonna ask questions to?
That's right. That's right.
Table. Table it till the next, I make a motion, we table it till the next meeting.
Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Watson with support from Commissioner Johnson to table this particular item until our October meeting. Is there any discussion on the motion?
That is November meeting. November
meeting. All those in favor of tabling case number 21037 until November, please indicate so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that is done. Case number 21039, which is a zoning exception request for 1853 West Maumee Street for a convenience store gas station at the location that used to be the Brass Lantern. My understanding from staff is that we are still working on the site plan for that.
Correct. We were unable to review the site plan because it hadn't been reviewed by MDOT. And so by the time we learned that, we'd already sent out the notice for the public hearing. And so it's been noticed for tonight. I think if there's anybody who wants to comment on it, we should hear them, but then continue the public hearing until the site plan, until the site plan comes back, because it may take MDOT a while to review it.
Okay, okay.
But are we doing a zoning exception permit and a site plan? So we need to do two or take two
The-
votes? Or no?
There, when it's ready, yes, but the site plan is not ready, so.
And it's,
All we put on the agenda tonight was the zoning exception permit, because that's what's been noticed for public hearing. But when it comes back, you'll have both the continuation of that public hearing and the consideration of zoning exception permit plus the site plan review.
Brian, it was my position that it was kind of hard to even do the zoning exception permit without seeing a diagram. So, but with that said, this will end up probably being tabled until at very least our November meeting. Is there anybody in the audience that wishes to address the planning commission on this proposal?
Fred Lucas.
Mr. Lucas.
The only thing I was going to point out is as Mr. Elliott's indicated, we believe that the appropriate thing is we've not had an opportunity to review the site plan. I think it'd be premature for me to even comment on anything at this point, given the fact that you haven't looked at it, we haven't looked at it, nobody's looked at it. I think that it would actually probably be best. My suggestion would be is that we that it should be renoticed for a second public hearing or renotice the public hearing for when the plan is complete. Because there just isn't even, at this point, to have a public hearing and to even open the public hearing would indicate that there's some kind of completeness in the record. I think probably the best thing to do, and I know it's an additional cost for publication, and whatnot, but given the fact that you have an incomplete application and that, you know, nobody's had a chance to look at it, I don't know what anybody could say in the public hearing at this point. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
I guess, yeah. Can I?
Please,
I
sir, if
guess-
you'd step to the podium and identify yourself and tell us what you'd like to
My
say.
name's Rex Christ. I'm the one that's doing it.
Yes,
The exception is what we're after. You can't grant that tonight. Is that what you're saying? I understand the MDOT thing, and it just came to my attention today through Jeremy.
Mhm.
We realize that that driveway's got to go someplace on that property. And we know that MDOT is in control of that, and we can't get an occupancy permit or anything like that. I'm holding off on doing anything based on an exemption permit, tearing down the building, all that other stuff. You saying you can't grant that without the site plan? Knowing the MDOT, I realize
Yeah.
we've dealt with this before, we built stores before.
No,
We
it's a
understand
site
that-
Plan is a requirement for zoning exception permit.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, then that makes sense then. I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
Okay, so then we go through that process and then they approve it first. Is that correct?
You need,
MDOT.
you at least have to have a review, if not a permit from MDOT, so we know where they stand on the driveway location. So that we can then have a site plan we can review that has the driveway in the right location.
Okay.
There were some other things that we shared with the other Jeremy Pickford, in a call last week, as well.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
Given all of that, folks, I would entertain a motion to table this item as well.
Move to November.
Until no earlier than our November meeting.
Until the site plan is prepared and ready.
We're gonna wait till
for review.
spring.
Yep.
We'll wait till spring.
We're hung up by MDOT.
As Fred said,
What he-
I'm gonna renotice it as well, so.
But Rex just said he's not doing anything till spring, so we don't need.
If you said I have a year from the exemption to start out, I'm not gonna go till
So
November.
pull permits,
And
yeah.
then
Yeah.
worry about, I'll just wait till spring to tear it down and
Mhm.
Okay,
leave it go. till
Okay.
then.
Yeah.
So would you make?
You want me to move in November?
Yes. Yes.
Make motion to move this table this to the November meeting.
We have a motion to table. Is there support
Support.
from Commissioner Taylor? All those in favor, please indicate so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay,
When do we need to notice by?
so middle.
Let's not waste our time. if we don't have to.
Good point.
What was the point?
It was submitted shortly before our last meeting, so I had maybe 2 days to get it noticed.
If, I suspect that if we'd had the site plan before just before this meeting, that we could have at least taken a look at it and maybe done something conditionally based on the report from MDOT, but
I think it would have changed the whole layout is the
Okay.
thing, because the driveway is not in the location where I suspect MDOT's gonna require it to
okay,
be.
okay.
I
I
agree.
think the
Okay.
driveway is right where they're gonna require. In all the. other
Right where
projects-
what?
I think the driveway is right where they're gonna require it. All the other
Oh.
projects, they want it as far back from the stoplight as you can get it, and that's absolutely with the setbacks as far as we can get it.
Well, we'll see. I mean, the amount of traffic that comes out of the center across the street, we did have a preliminary conversation with them and they indicated their inclination would be to require it to be aligned with the center.
With their driveway.
Yeah.
And that's, I heard a lot of people try to convince MDOT of something. They go by a different set of.
It wasn't our idea. I mean, that wasn't our
Ludwig
comment.
Christian
is-
is
it
not
is a
gonna
different-
We
deter
understand.
them from what they're doing. They have some set of plans that they go by, so,
Okay,
Right.
but that's okay. All right.
okay, thank you.
Set then?
Yep, we're good.
Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you.
Next item on our agenda, case number 21040. This is a zoning exception application for 524 North Broad Street for a home occupation, physical massage. I believe you're probably the applicant. If you'd come forward, identify yourself for our minutes and very briefly tell us what it is that you're planning to do.
Okay, good evening. My name is Abigail Calamungi. I am a massage therapist, and I want to use the front room and entrance of my home for my massage practice. It is approximately 40 square feet, has its own entrance. We are right now installing a bathroom so that it will have a private bathroom for my clientele. I do not plan to advertise over media or anything. I already have a client base. I worked for Restoration Massage Therapy doing medical massage, and I graduated from Adrian School of Massage.
Okay. Questions for the applicant?
I think you answered all the questions that we asked you very thoroughly.
Thank you.
Well, the only question I had is, one of the requirements is that it be a single family home. Is that a single
Yes.
family home?
It was changed right before we moved in from a duplex to a single family.
Okay, because I noticed the exterior stairway going to the upstairs.
Yes, we
Oh,
plan to remove that as soon as possible.
Oh, okay,
We do not use that.
okay, okay. Any other questions for the applicant?
Are you required to be licensed by the state? Do they have a bunch of rules? that you
I
know?
am licensed by the state and insured through ABMP.
Okay.
Yes, you should be licensed to practice massage therapy.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
In order to grant a zoning exception permit, we have a couple things we need to look at. Of which, yeah, too many papers. Too many papers. I was looking for the general ones. A home occupation must be conducted in its entirety within a single family structure. It appears to be the case here. That home occupation shall be conducted solely by persons residing at the residence. That also seems to be the case here. All business activity and storage must take place within the interior of the dwelling. No exterior storage, it doesn't sound like it. That there shouldn't be any alteration to the exterior of the residential dwelling that changes the character that I proposed. That this home occupation shall not generate a volume or character of pedestrian or vehicle traffic beyond that normally generated by homes in the residential neighborhood. As you said, you plan to only have one client at a time. Only off-street parking facilities which are normal for residential use and are located on the premises may be used. Again, one client at a time, doesn't seem to be an issue there. You won't be using any vehicles exceeding 5 gross tons. One non-illuminated nameplate no larger than 2 square feet is permitted to identify the home occupation. Are you going to have a sign of some kind?
I am, but I know it has to be under 2 feet.
Okay, very well. We can't sell things. It
Right.
is just a service business. There's no explosives or highly combustible materials to be used. And no more than 25% of the gross floor area or 300 square feet, whichever is greater, can be used for the home occupation. Again, that seems to be the case here. And the conduct of the home occupation shall not violate any of the city's ordinances concerning nuisance, fire, or health, or any other city, county, state, or other applicable laws or regulations. And again, this does not appear to be an issue. Commissioners, the chair would suggest that if we chose to grant this home occupation request, that the criteria have been met and we could do so.
Move to approve.
Commissioner Cotton, is there support?
Support.
Commissioner Johnson? Is there any discussion? Commissioners?
Johnson,
Support.
Cotton,
Yes.
Gauss,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
Jacobitz,
Yes,
Weatherby,
Support.
Watson,
Support.
motion passed unanimously.
thank you very much. Best of luck with your business.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Folks, I think at our last meeting, we did a fairly thorough review of the draft, the City of Adrian Comprehensive Plan. And if we are at least modestly satisfied with it, It is, yeah, it is probably time for us to send this to the city commission. And I would entertain a motion to approve the 2021 comprehensive plan as written and to send that to the city commission.
So move.
If you could clarify that motion, that you're forwarding it to the city commission for them to authorize distribution to
Yes,
the other
yes. To the other
agencies
municipalities
that have,
around surrounding us, the county and the
have an
township.
opportunity to review.
Yes,
I'm sure that's what I meant to say when
when you said, yes,
he gave the words.
yeah, sorry. We have a motion. Is there support for that motion?
Support.
Okay. Watson was the second. Is there any additional discussion? A roll call vote, please.
Cotton,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
Jacobitz,
Yes,
Weatherby,
Support.
Johnson,
Support.
Watson,
Support.
Gauss.
Yes.
Motion passed unanimously.
thank you all. Gordon, Greg, do we need to, will this be on their agenda at their next meeting then?
Yes, I'll put it on for the October 18th.
Okay, and do we need to be there to advocate for it?
I'll be there.
Gordon, okay. Well, if you suspect that somebody needs to be there to. Okay, I meant, yeah. No, that wasn't my point at all, but just that, yes, if it needs additional support, please let me know. Okay. Yeah, and probably as much as I'm not really happy with it, maybe we shouldn't apologize for it. Okay, very well. As you may recall, from our last meeting, we talked to the lady who proposes to put a child care center at the former Lutheran Church on West Maumee Street. Jeremiah has drawn up a draft of a change to the ordinance that would permit such, which is, and actually above and beyond that, he also cleaned up some language and just to make it more consistent with other formats that we use. One of the things I would point out is that one of the things that I think, we probably knew this, but it wasn't clear in our ordinance, that the small daycare centers, those that are 6 students or 6 children and under, according to the state, is a use by right in any residential district. And so that's one of the changes in there. It's got nothing to do with this church.
Yeah,
issue.
just let me ask a question. So
Yes.
like, the gentleman that was upset about it this year,
Mhm.
there could be one on each side of his house with 6 people in it, with 6 kids in it,
And
and we could do nothing about it.
And neither could he. Yep, he could complain to the state. They're regulated by the state. Yeah, just like if they want to put a new public school on Maumee Court, it's, not much we can say about it. So same kind of thing. But so Jeremiah also cleaned that up and made that clear. This would permit the type of operation that lady was proposing in R1 districts on major thoroughfares, subject to a zoning exception permit. And if folks are comfortable with that, we should probably we would need to set a public hearing for this for our November meeting. Because of course, this is a change to the ordinance, which would have to be approved then by the city commission. And is there any discussion on that? Any questions for Jeremiah on the language? I think it was a pretty thorough review. Thank you. Kind of pulled in a whole bunch of little stuff there. Yeah, and fixed a few things in the process. Anything? In that case, we would entertain a motion to set a public hearing for that proposed ordinance amendment for our November meeting. Taylor, and is there support?
Support.
Cotton, all those in favor, please indicate so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. That was a relatively short meeting folks, for having.
Don't forget public comment.
Yep, I know, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. Is there anybody in the audience that wishes to address the planning commission on any other issue? I see we have somebody just joined us online. No? Okay, if there is no other business to come before us this evening, we would entertain a motion for adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Support.
All those in favor, please indicate so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you all very much.